Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare.
Hello Aries, welcome to your November 2021 Oracle and Tarot reading. My name is Tessa, you're watching my channel. So this is going to be an astrology tarot reading. So you can definitely watch this video if you are an Aries sun, moon, or rising. I am going to refer to the chart for Aries risings out there if we start pulling cards that have to do with certain transits that are going to be in effect throughout November, okay? But you're going to know if that message is for you. If you're an Aries sun, and if I mention Aries rising and a certain message, it could still resonate with you. So basically, it's just kind of take the messages that resonate and leave the rest, okay? But that is basically how I'm going to do this, okay? So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up. There's always a lot of different astrological transits and events that are prominent throughout the month. Going through every single one of them obviously would be a really long video. So that is why I really like to use this Astro Soul Oracle deck. I love this deck so much. And it really just kind of allows us to pull out the energy that's going to be important for you to know for November. And we can just kind of go from there, okay? So I'm going to pull 3 cards from here, and I am going to clarify with tarot. I'm using 2 different tarot decks, Tarot of Dreams and Modern Spellcasters. So we're just going to kind of keep getting deeper into the story. It's going to be very general in the beginning, and then the story is going to get more and more specific, okay? So as the story gets more and more specific, it might resonate with you, it might not. So I'm just kind of letting you know how this is going to work. You're free to check out your other placements, sun, moon, rising. You can check out Venus too. I mean, why the heck not? Sometimes love messages do come out, you know, but I focus on spiritual guidance. So it's really just like what spirit wants to tell you and just kind of guide you through it. I don't actually focus in on any specific area of life. I just focus on spirit. Okay, so this could be like an internal issue. Scorpio season does tend to bring out a lot of deeper wounds and issues and things like that. It could be about your career, it could be about money, it could be about love, it could be about relationships, it could be about home life, it could be about your childhood, it could be about friends, it could be about, you know what I mean? There's so many different things that it could be about. So we're just gonna let the cards speak for itself and see exactly what message it wants to tell you. Now the most significant and talked about at transit that's happening in November is on November 19th. There's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. It's going to be a partial lunar eclipse. It's called the Earth Mother's Moon. And with that being said, if I do happen to pull a moon phase card, like a full moon or a waxing gibbous or a waning crescent or a new moon, if I happen to pull a moon phase card from here, I am going to read you a little bit from the book, okay, from the moon phase astrology book, because I've really been enjoying kind of providing you guys with different resources of messages and information, and this book is so awesome. So I'm going to read, so we're going to see exactly when that moon phase is going to happen in November. We're going to see what sign it's falling under, and then we're going to refer to the book, okay? So it's only going to be 2 pages max. If you watched my last mid-October video, you'll know what that's all about. So hopefully for those who did watch it, you enjoyed it, because there's a lot of really cool information in there. Okay. What else? I think that's it. I think that's all I want to say. Yeah, aspects. When aspects come out, when aspects come out, I like to see, I mean, every single one of these cards, I will provide a general message for generally, okay? But if there are certain connections that are coming out that reflect the actual astrology that's happening for November, if I pull 3 cards and they're very much connected to something specific that's going on, then I am going to get into the specifics of what's going on. So I hope that makes sense. For those of you who are new to astrology, who are learning about it and interested in it, just keep going. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm enjoying the complexities of it. I love that type of shit. I'm a Sagittarius, and I also have Mercury in my 1st house. So, I do enjoy the complexities of, things and, figuring things out. But, it does not have to be, if you do want to learn astrology and get into it, it does not have to be that difficult in the beginning. Just start very simple with the planets, and like the signs that they're in, you know, and then move to the houses and then move to aspects, you know. Okay. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing, okay? And I love that, you know? Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate as a fire sign, but like as a Sagittarius, like we always want to be expanding our minds, gaining new knowledge, new information, always want to learn. You know, it just like, it makes me feel good when I'm always like evolving and growing and things like that. So let's get into this message, Aries, and get into your reading. Oh, I do need to pull up the Aries rising chart, which I did not do yet. Okay, so it's set on November 1st. Alrighty. All right, first card is out, sextile. Cancer just pulled this card. Sextile is to cooperation. You could be like working with other people right now, cooperating with other people. Cooperation, sextile says integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, and empathy. So a sextile is when two planets are 60 degrees away from each other, okay? And those two planets, depending on the planets and depending on the sign that they're in and the houses that they're in, create a kind of like really, it turns those two specific energies into a very like creative, cooperative type of like flowing energy. Okay, so you could definitely be in connection with a lot of people. You could be networking. You could like maybe your daily life, like you're always talking to people. You're always kind of like on the move, or you're always finding new ways to use your tools and your skills and to integrate the information that you have with other people and create kind of like harmony in your environment. Okay, so you could work around a lot of people. Let's see, let's get two more cards over here. That's not happening. it just didn't feel like those were the right cards. Okay, so let's see. There's gonna be a lot. Okay, so that one. Okay, see, it's like, it's interesting because it's like when you do put cards back and then the same card comes out, because like two moon phase cards fell out. Now with two moon phase cards falling out, like it can get very complicating. It can get very complicating very quickly. But if I happen to pull another moon phase card, then we know. Then we know that it's like really a message that needs to be said, and we're just going to work through the complications. Okay, we already got a sextile going on here, so there's already a lot of different kinds of energy going on over here. Very creative, very fluid, very flowing. So we did get the waxing gibbous. I did see among those two moon phase cards that one of them was a waxing gibbous, so we're going to find out if the next one is going to be that too. But before we do, let's get into the story. I don't want to pull any more cards until we get into the story, because we have to get some backdrop, right? We have to get some backdrop first. Okay, so the waxing gibbous, alignment, refinement, nurture, patience, evolution. I think this is the trickster's moon. I'm pretty sure that's the trickster's moon, but we're going to find out right now. We're going to get into the story of the waxing gibbous in just a second. But first, I have to see. I think it's in Taurus. I believe the waxing gibbous is like November. It's like right after, like November 21st. Because I think I pulled it for another sign. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I could be wrong. That could have been the waning gibbous. Oh no, waxing gibbous. Oh, it's November 12th. It is the trickster's moon. Oh yeah, the other one was the builder's moon. Oh my god, I'm actually really excited to read this, Aries. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but like, so I only read like 2 paragraphs when I pulled this the last time, but we're going to read the whole thing. Okay, so November 12th, waxing gibbous in Aquarius. It's going to be in Aquarius, okay? So let's see here. The waxing gibbous in Aquarius is the trickster's moon. I knew it. This is really, really interesting. I promise. This is so interesting. Yeah, the trickster's moon. Okay. So yeah, it's only like a page and 3/4, okay? So everything's going to be all right. Okay, so let's get into this information. Let's see what is going on over here, okay? So this could be really significant. The trickster's moon, the gibbous moon in Aquarius. As the crisis of the rebel moon passes, the rebel realizes that the masses are easily swayed and easily swayed back again when the heat of the moment and all the screaming wears off. Few have his devotion to principles, and many are suspicious of the violence that rebellion brings. His most eloquent and sincere pleading for the depth of his cause is lost on them, because they start imagining mob rule and quickly vacate the public square. He needs to find a way to teach people about hard truths that doesn't frighten them away and doesn't get him ostracized. The scorched earth policies are not working. Okay, immediately after reading that paragraph, I was literally thinking like I could totally see this being relevant for Aries because, you know, like fire energy, like Aries energy, you guys are so passionate. I feel like you could go to like war for anything, right? Like you, like whatever your belief is, whatever you're passionate about, like I feel like you can go to war for that. But it's also like a lot of the times people could be put off by that type of energy. They could be put off by like feelings like, oh my God, is there gonna be a war or whatever? So this is where the trickster moon kind of like comes in and kind of like realizes that people need to be like, it gets really interesting that you know, the approach might need to be a little bit different if you really want to get people to listen. Okay, continuing. In the gibbous moon phase, the Aquarius moon realizes that people respond well to humor, and he learns the magic of the trickster. The trickster is present in all cultures, and he lives in a special enchanted place. Even in the most repressed and dangerous times, he appears like the court jester who was able to speak hard truths to the king that his courtiers dared not say, as long as he cloaked it in joking around. So it's almost like being passionate about something, it's like fighting for a certain cause, but going about it in a way that like will make people intrigued or like make people, so this is the trickster. It's like making people kind of like want to become curious and interested in your cause and in your belief. By kind of like cracking jokes about it and kind of like engaging people in a really fun kind of way. The trickster makes people laugh so he can say hard things and teach them subtle lessons. He also learns not to take himself too seriously and not to be afraid of being seen as a fool. This is where Aquarius, the opposite of image-conscious Leo, that's who I pulled this card for. It was Leo. Anyway, is able to let go and be ridiculous if it will get the point across to the masses. The trickster does street theater rather than revolution and finds that it is just as revolutionary. Yes, so it's almost like using your creativity, because I know you're creative, Aries. It's like using that skill, that like amazing inner ability that you have to like show your creativity, but like do it in such a revolutionary way. And you know, that like it makes people pay attention to you. The dark side of this archetype is that sometimes tricksters are penalized for their words. Sometimes denial is so thick that nothing will be heard, and it falls to tricksters to speak the truth even when they know that they will not be heard, that they may well be liked for it. I once read a tale of a Native American tribe on the northwest coast who were being cheated of their furs by white traders who dazzled them with cheap trinkets. The female sacred trickster of the tribe dissuaded them from their greed by setting up a crude stall near the traders, where she loudly hawked dung, rocks and sticks. The people turned sheepishly from their enthusiastic acquisition of cheap trinkets, and the traders killed the trickster. This punishment happens in myths, too. It's part of the deal. The safety that the trickster counts on is paid for by being the one to take risks when even he will not be safe, and the truth must still be spoken. Interesting. Why must it be spoken, even if the speaker will be silenced and nothing will change? Because someone in the future might hear the tale passed down and understand and make the change. People born on this moon truly learn what it means to sacrifice for the future. So interesting. I love it. I told you, it's so interesting. So it's like, and I love that idea of like, just like knowing that it doesn't matter. Like if you think that, like when you fight for a cause or when you fight for your beliefs or when you are, you know, creating something that you believe is worth it, it's like, even if in that moment in time, it could be just the wrong time, but that doesn't mean, like, time is so multidimensional and time is like so fascinating. So it's like you don't know who heard your message. You don't know how it settled even subconsciously. It's like the moment you speak something, the moment you say something out loud, it like travels. It travels through time. It travels through space. And it goes where it needs to go. And like, even if down the line, you know, someone like picks up on those words or those stories, and then it like triggers them to think, it's just, I just like love how the universe works, okay? Because it does matter. And like, sometimes I feel like I'm from a different time. I'm like, how the frick did I get stuck? Like, you know, like, I don't know. It's like really interesting. Like sometimes the way that I feel inside, I'm like I feel like I belong in the freaking medieval times or something like that. But I'm also I also think a lot about the future. So I don't know, whatever. It's bizarre. It's probably because I have my Uranus conjunct the sun, but it's in the 12th house. So that's where the past life thing comes from, because it's in the 12th house. But then I have Uranus in the 12th house. So then it's like future. Don't ask. Okay. So this punishment happens in yeah. So interesting. Moving on. On the trickster's moon, we tell tales of trickery that worked, that brought justice when nothing else would. That sentence alone is like 5 of Swords energy right there. Venus in Aquarius. That's what I see there. A lesson that got a lesson through a hard head. We do street theater if that's in our repertoire. If nothing else, we attack a problem in an unusual way, brainstorming for something that's never been thought of before. People born in the trickster's moon want to change the world, but when they try to do it grimly and seriously, they always end up clumsy. They are at their best when they can think up an original and slightly ridiculous way to get it done. The way that nobody expects and that only they can pull off. This is beyond thinking outside the box. It's thinking in a universe where there are no boxes. It's kind of like manipulation, I'm not gonna lie. That sentence alone to me sounds like manipulation. So you got to make your decisions wisely, people. There is a faint echo of the Leo clown's moon in trickster moon people, at least when it comes to being the class clown. But where Leo does it to please the audience and get attention, Aquarius does it for the message, or they should. It's not their cosmic job to do it for applause. That is totally Aquarius energy right there. Aquarius energy does it for justice for the future, for equality for the future. They need to risk the truth telling or it will all go wrong. Trickster's moon people may be attracted to crazy wisdom gurus. Trickster's moon people may be attracted to crazy wisdom gurus. And they are at their best when they're spreading their own whimsical message through venues where it will sink in subtly without being noticed. It kind of makes me think of, I don't know if any of you listen to like Rage Against the Machine or like bands that usually have more messages than just the music. I mean, Rage Against the Machine is kind of like a very, very obvious, like, I mean, it's obvious that his lyrics are political, but he's doing it through music. And it's not really trickster energy. Like, I feel like trickster energy would be more like a band that like usually sings about one thing, but then kind of leaves these subliminal codes underneath. Actually, I would put Rage Against the Machine in another category altogether because like it's actually extremely direct, extremely forceful, and extremely just like, this is what my music's about. And what you get is what you see. What you see is what you get. Trickster moon people may be attracted to crazy wisdom gurus, and they are at their best when they're spreading their own whimsical message through venues where it will sink in subtly without being noticed. They will also be the truth speakers who sacrifice themselves, pointing out the emperor's nudity. Now that does sound like rage. If they're skilled, they'll manage to do this in a way that skates them by any repercussions. But if they can't skate by, they'll be driven to do it anyway for the sake of truth. I like that. See, I told you. I told you that shit was good. Aries, what truth are you trying to get out there? What truth are you trying to get out there, okay? Oof. Cooperation, trying to work together with others. Maybe you're trying to bring together a tribe, trying to bring forces together for a common goal. I don't know, but let's pull this third card and then we're going to get into tarot and clarify. Couple more shuffles. Chiron. Ooh. The wounded healer. Okay. So something to do with your own inner wounds, your own childhood wounds. Chiron is currently still in Aries. So if you're in Aries rising, it's in your first house. Okay, so, and it is retrograde. So some internal things that need to be, you remember how I said I think I said this to you guys, that Scorpio season is all about, a lot of the times those deeper feelings, those deeper wounds coming to the surface, okay? So maybe you're like figuring out the truth of who you are, the truth of like, you know, and you could very much be driven. I feel like you're being driven by this wound, okay? You could have been wounded as a kid or something. You could have been wounded by outside circumstances, something, and that is what is like creating this desire in you to speak your truth, but maybe you're noticing that people are not really hearing it the way you want them to hear it. So it's like trying to be creative in the way that you express it. But let's get deeper. Let us get into this story. I love a good story. Don't you? Don't you love a good story? I love a good story. Let's clarify sextile, waxing gibbous, and Chiron. Okay. Of course, everyone is going to have Chiron placed differently in their natal chart. But currently, Chiron is in Aries. Let's see what this sextile is all about. The Emperor! This is Aries energy right over here. The Emperor. Okay, maybe you're a boss. Okay. So basically what I'm sensing is that there's somebody out there, whether you're watching this or not, who is bringing together forces. I don't know, man. There's a really strong leader over here. Let's clarify the waxing gibbous, and we're going to clarify even further from the modern spellcaster's tarot. There's a really powerful force. There's some powerful leaders in you guys, okay? Whether you're thinking about bringing together forces or you already have. This one was first. Strategy. I'm going to pull two more cards because I was getting some weird feelings when these came out. Okay. I don't know. Maybe some of you are strategizing right now, but I am going to do, because like I didn't like the way they came out. And like, but it was the Two of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. We're still going to do two more. So some of you are strategizing for sure. Something. Okay. That has to do with a future plan. How to take action towards a future plan. Let's clarify this waxing gibbous. I just need one card. Do not pull out two cards, please. I don't want two cards. I just want one card. Okay, let's clarify the waxing gibbous. get into this story. Please, clear messages, please. This is why, like, the ones that, the wheel, fate, a new beginning. This could be fate. Some of this could be fate, fated for you to kind of take action towards this. Okay. Wheels are turning in your favor. I feel like there's some magic at work here as well. Let's clarify Chiron, and then we're going to get into the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. All right. The wheel is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in Aquarius. And in your 11th house, if you're an Aries rising, you could, some of you watching this could definitely be Aries risings with this Aries energy over here. And then the wheel falls under the waxing gibbous. Remember, then the waxing gibbous is in Aquarius. So on November 12th, the waxing gibbous is going to be in Aquarius, transiting your 11th house if you're an Aries rising. And at some point, it's going to be conjunct Jupiter. I'm only going to do this for you guys. I don't do this for anybody. I'm going to pull up November 12th. I don't change this for anybody. Hang on. Where is that moon? Oh. Hang on. Yeah. For actually November 11th. Let's do 4:45. Let's do 3. Let's see. Just give me a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so November 11th around 2:45 p.m. basically. November 11th around 2:45 p.m. The moon is going to be the moon in Aquarius, which is going to be a waxing gibbous. Alignment, refinement, nurture, patience, evolution. It's going to be Aries rising. Oh my God. See, I love it when shit like this comes together. I was just being pulled to do this. Okay. So I apologize. But, so the waxing gibbous in Aquarius on November 11th around 2:48 p.m. will be in conjunction with Jupiter in Aquarius in your 11th house. So there could be like, basically like, I don't know, there could be like a fated event, something you could meet someone. With it being in your 11th house, you could meet someone and it could be fate in terms of like carrying out your plan or whatever, something that carries out your plan. Page of Coins falling under the wounded healer Chiron, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Thinking about how you can make money with this. There could be some kind of fated event that's going to bring you some kind of abundance. Listen to your intuition around that time, November 11th, 2:48 p.m. Listen to what your intuition might be telling you, because it might direct you towards someone who can help you. It might direct you towards someone who can help you achieve what you want to achieve. Okay? Whatever that might be. We're going to get a little bit more into this story over here, okay? Let's get into this story over here. I like this. This is fun. I love these types of readings. They're fun. I don't know. I like doing it. That's the first time I've ever done that for anybody, Aries, is to actually like change, like to, you know, see what's coming up, so to speak. I usually just leave it on November 1st, but I really wanted to see, because like when things kind of start connecting like that, that's what I like. You know, I like it when things start connecting like that. Okay, so let's clarify the Emperor. What are you planning? What are you scheming? I'm feeling so much energy from this card. Like, I don't know, like scheming something or planning something. I don't know. Or watching, waiting to make a move. What is this? Clarify the Emperor. Clarify the Emperor. We have the Sun, Leo, or the Sun. The Magician, Mercury. Woo, happiness, manifestation, 5 of Wands, more Leo energy, Saturn in Leo. Some kind of conflict up ahead. Okay, yeah. Manifesting your happiness. What's this conflict all about, though? Let's clarify the Wheel and the Page of Coins and try to pull this story together, because are you trying to manifest conflict? Or maybe, I don't know, with that Emperor energy, you know, manifestation, creating conflict. I don't know, some kind of conflict is around you. And it's like, I don't really see you getting involved, but it's almost like you made it happen. The Wheel came out again. I feel like you're creating conflict, or you're manifesting some kind of you're manifesting something here. Clarify the Wheel. Oh my God. Come on. Couple more. These cards were just like wanting to come out. There's some strong energy going on the other side of this screen. 3 of Pentacles, Mars in Capricorn. 2 of Cups, Venus in Cancer. 3 of Wands, another 3, third party. Sun in Aries. So it looks like you are coming together to work with something, to work with someone. There is some kind of love connection here, possibly. But also, it's nothing that you're like, I mean, you're enjoying this love connection, but you're also kind of waiting for something else to come in. I don't know. It's like you're looking back out there. Maybe this person could be involved too much in other things. Or you're involved too much in other things. Like you're looking around you to see what else is going on. And you're waiting. You're waiting for something else. What the heck, Aries? What is this? Let's clarify the Page of Coins. Actually, you might come together with somebody or with a couple of people to get started on a certain project, and then you end up like kind of connecting with one of them, you know, maybe like emotionally or like romantically. And then you kind of like go back to being like, okay, let's see what this coming together between the three of us, or however many it might be, let's see what it can do. This is so weird. These stories are like breaking up. Clarify the Page of Coins. Try to like pull together a cohesive story here. We get Strength, more Leo energy. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. The Moon, Pisces. Another two major arcanas. And the Seven of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. Oh my God. Whew. I'm already kind of exhausted. Aries, what is up here? What is going on? Okay, so I just need a minute. Yeah, at least so much Leo over here. So this, so you could be in some kind of environment. You might be like a boss somewhere, or you're in some kind of environment where like, I don't know if these are these separate messages? Because they feel really separate. They feel like separate messages, like for separate groups of Aries. Because over here, I see someone who is like creating conflict. I literally see somebody who's creating conflict, and then like things kind of pause or break off, or you find some other people. This could be like a particular work environment or one particular group of people, one particular environment, and then you connect with some other people. You decide that this way is maybe more beneficial, or like you decide to make some kind of business connection with someone else or with a couple of other people that you end up having some kind of romantic connection with one of them. And you guys are kind of like waiting to see the results of that. But then there's this like wounded energy. There's this like needing to really go within. There's this energy of really needing to go within and kind of uncover your own wounds, you know, and to like rediscover your own strength so that you can actually follow through with this business plan. Whatever business plan you got going on here, whoever or whatever initiative you are setting out to do with these people, which one of you or some of you might come into connection with around November 11th, or something might happen around November 11th. In the meantime, you're also kind of like, you're also needing to learn. You're also needing to take small steps to learn and understand why maybe you might have some issues with your own self-value, okay? You might have some deep like ego wounds, or wounds in regards to your own identity and ego. And it could be tied up to this idea of truth, or this idea of like, you know, tricking people into something, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tricking people into following your lead. Which is perhaps something that you enjoyed in the past. This could also be part of your wound, where maybe that's something that you did in the past, and it kind of created a deeper wound within you, and now you have to resolve it. Because it didn't really get you anywhere. So with the strength energy coming up here, it's like telling you to have strength while you go through these emotions, because it's something that you have to face. Because for the last card, we pulled the moon in Aquarius. So this is something that you actually have to face within yourself. This type of energy, perhaps this trickster type of energy. Okay. You could have actually like, you could actually very much acknowledge and be aware of this kind of like trickster kind of energy that we were talking about. And it could be something that you kind of have to like, and it could be due to some deeper childhood wounds. Like maybe you got tricked, or someone tricked you. And you fought back. Either way, there are some deeper issues that are coming to the surface in regards to how you go about like sharing your truth to people, and even like revolutionizing your own how you go about revolutionizing your own creativity, your own sense of value. Okay, like how do you take that wounded energy within you, revolutionize that, and turn it into art, turn it into creativity, okay? Because that could be your truth. You know, I mean, the wounded healer is literally, the purpose is for you to find that wound within you that you can transform so that you can heal others who maybe share that same wound. So if that has to do with your ego, and if that has to do with your own like identity of yourself, it's like, then you're revolutionizing you. And I feel like that trickster story comes into play there, because like the trickster is a revolutionary version of the self, because they're just being them, right? They're just acting how they're acting, but they're, you know, they're making people like, but they're also coming up with new ideas. They're trying to be conscious of how they are they're trying to become conscious of how they are manifesting their environment. So are you trying to manifest chaos around you? Are you trying to manifest conflict and war? Or do you want to go about it in subtle ways or like create humor? Okay, so there's something going on over here about like how you manifest yourself into your environment and what is it that you are creating in your environment. And if there is a certain cause that you want to fight for, whether it's a personal cause, whether it's like your art, your creativity, or there's like some other kind of cause, it's kind of like asking you to find the courage and the strength within you to understand actually who you are inside and to reconcile some of these wounds so you can actually go about it in the best way. Because Aries, if your energy is kind of made up, if you guys are ruled by Mars, so it's like you naturally kind of project that Mars kind of like, you know, aggressive and conflict oriented kind of energy. That could be something that like you manifest unconsciously, like you're not even aware maybe that you're manifesting it. But you kind of think it's like funny maybe, like you think it's funny. So it's like instead of trying to make other people laugh, like you're just trying to make yourself laugh. So it's like maybe something needs to be evaluated there in regards to your own energy. And if that's something you really want, if you're trying to create conflict or if it's like, if there are other ways that you can go about it. This is so interesting. This is so freaking interesting. Let's get an advice card for Aries. Advice for Aries, please. Metamorphosis. Going through changes. Of course, it's Scorpio season. Aren't we all going through changes? Metamorphosis. Changing the way you perceive your own energy. Changing, yeah, like yeah, the advice is to look at yourself. Like, I mean, it's like literally the flamingo's looking at it. It's like mirror. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror. Trying to take a closer look at your own energy. Okay, at your own energy within you. And how your own energy could be affecting your environment. Okay? It's actually really powerful stuff. It's something that I started to become aware of within myself a little while ago when you actually acknowledge, like, so basically whatever planet is you are being ruled by. So technically you would take a look at your rising sign. So if you're an Aries rising, your ruling planet is Mars. So it's like Mars is literally it's like your life force. It's like that is the energy that you are unconsciously even, because you're being guided by it. So it's like, it's almost unconscious and you're kind of like creating ripple effects that you might not even be aware of. And then it's like, right, it's like, how do you control that, right? Well, Pluto Pluto energy. So wherever you have Pluto in your chart and the sign that you have Pluto in, that Pluto will force you to transform and to acknowledge. So we're in Scorpio season. Scorpio energy kind of forces you to go through a kind of death and rebirth. So you can acknowledge your own energy, so you can become more aware of the unconscious things that are going on and that you are being guided by. For instance, I'm a Sagittarius rising, so my ruling planet is Jupiter. And it's like becoming conscious of how perhaps like my abundance or my like my way of thinking, my expansive kind of the desire to like teach people or educate, like how that energy is actually could be creating some kind of ripple effect in my environment. Okay. Yeah. Metamorphosis. So it's more metamorphosis. It's just going through inner changes. It's just acknowledging different parts of yourself, acknowledging different energies within yourself, and allowing that awareness to transform you. So when you're aware of it, it already kind of transforms you and you become more conscious of things. That is your reading, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it for November 2021. If you want, leave a comment down below, like this video, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this. If it didn't resonate with you at all, stay tuned. I will be posting more videos. That's it, you guys. That is the reading. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Bye.